All right, John Rothstein back here at Mountain West Media Day with Air Force head coach Joe Scott. Joe, October is the time for eternal optimism, but talk to us right now about what we can expect from Air Force this season.
Well, like I've said, right now through the first 3 weeks of practice, this is the most connected and together team I've had since I've been back, which is a good sign. I think it's really because we have 5 seniors, which we haven't had, and we took a trip over the summer to Canada and played 5 games. I think you put those two things together. We got a good sophomore class, and the seniors and the sophomores are emerging, and we're going to play a little differently. We're going to play some different guys, and I think all that's sort of coming together, and our guys are showing, they're really understanding what I'm looking for, and I think it's because we got 5 seniors, because seniors, when you get them, they usually understand what the coach is looking for, and they're doing a good job of leading the team.
Retention is such a big part of today's game, especially when you look at the Mountain West and how successful the league has been. Because you're coaching a different type of young man, is it easier or harder to retain kids at Air Force?
I mean, I think it's the same everywhere. I think it's a culture thing. I think it's a basketball culture thing. I mean, today, retention, leaving and transferring is on everyone's mind. What can I get out of it is on everyone's mind. And so for us, the key is we have to retain, because I can't replace. I replace with 18-year-olds, and to your point, it's a great league. And I think it's a great league because they're basketball schools.
Yep.
That's who they are. They've done a great job at taking advantage of the new environment, and what's going on in the Mountain West is the top doesn't take a step back.
No.
And that's because they don't replace with an 18-year-old.
Right.
They replace with a 22 and a 23-year-old. And what it means is these basketball schools, which historical basketball schools, they're staying at the top. And, no matter what, for us, I have to develop, we have to develop. We got to take an 18-year-old kid and get him to be a 23-year-old in this environment. Like I've said, we got to figure out a way to do it 3 years in a row. And if we can, then we'll be competitive, because I'll have juniors and seniors.
Yeah, you lost obviously a key player to Cal and Ritus Petritis. Who steps in for him after his absence?
Well, I mean, like I said, we have these sophomores. I mean, I got these 7-foot sophomore. I got a 6'9" sophomore. We're going to play a little differently, John. I mean, it's all still going to be what we do, but it's going to look different and be different. And, I got another young sophomore, Luke Carney, who can do some things. So it's going to be the merging of those guys with the seniors who've got some really good experience.
Sure.
And it's the makings of something good, and it's going to be interesting. You never know until you play outside comp,
right?
Which is going to start here this weekend. But I like what I said. I just like the togetherness of this team, and it's coming from the players.
Aside from the transfer portal and NIL, what's the biggest difference in Air Force this time around versus the first?
Yeah, I got to be honest. There's nothing different. It's what you just said that's completely different. When I came back, when this happened 3 years ago, I said, that's the one thing that I'm going to find out is, we didn't lose anybody the first time I was here.
Right.
Nobody transferred. Everybody stayed.
Right.
So, I really feel strongly that if, besides last year, we had the same thing happen the year prior to that, and you throw those two guys in the mix with what we have now, and this poll, Air Force wouldn't be dead last in this poll. Air Force would be way up higher here, and so we just got to figure out a way, John. What you said, retention, we got to figure out a way. I got to be creative. We got to be creative. We got to play differently. I got to think differently. We have to think differently, because this is a completely new environment, and the data's out now. When it first happened 3 years ago, there was no data.
Right.
The data's out now, and now when you get the data, you got to stare it in the face, and you got to say, what are we going to do about this? And for us, we can't do what everybody else does, so we got to come up with some other ways, and that's why, like I said, we're going to play a little differently. I'm going to play some different guys, and I'm all doing it for one reason. We got to figure out a way to be competitive.
Yeah. How are you different as a coach this time at Air Force versus the first time you were here?
I mean, I think I'm just different in terms of really, we're going to play the way we play, but just coming up with new ways of not being so, stuck on I'm going to play two bigs. How do you do that? Okay, well, I can figure it out.
Right.
And it's still our stuff, but just doing that and figuring out new ways to play defensively. It's still going to be what we do, but it's got to be different because we have to do that. And then the other thing is just being older. I'm glad I have these 5 seniors because really it's given me the opportunity as I am older with the seniors to have seen them go through the time there. Just I got a really strong feeling for them. I really appreciate and have seen what they've done, and we took the trip to Canada, John, because that was a reward for those guys. You're here. You're seniors at Air Force.
Yeah.
You deserve this, and I have a great appreciation in this current environment for what these 5 guys are doing and have done and will continue to do this year, and that's why I'm really excited to see the togetherness of our team.
You've got deep roots in the New York metropolitan area. How bad do you miss the pizza?
I see what you say. What is it? Can't get pizza west of the Mississippi.
Yes. No, don't waste calories outside the Eastern time zone.
Well, I used to get my pie flown in from Jersey.
Is that right?
I used to get it flown in. I don't anymore, but there's nothing like you said. There's nothing like New York, New Jersey pizza. Is this place Big Bill's in the outside Denver? Is it good? It's in Denver.
Is it good?
He's good. Big Bill's a great guy. He's a New Yorker.
Yeah.
So he's a great guy. Great atmosphere. But
the sauce isn't the same.
It's it's the sauce. It's the sauce
and the bread.
And we know it's the crust. And
exactly.
And there's something in the water.
There's something in the water. Exactly. Well, Joe, appreciate you taking some time to visit with us. Always great covering you, and all the best in the 24-25 college basketball season.
All right. Thanks. Good talking with you.
You got it. That's Air Force head coach Joe Scott. I'm John Rothstein. This is Only October.